Hello, and welcome back to Talk to Me. Today we continue on Talk to Me in our series that we've been doing all this year. One of my favorite subjects is the human soul. One of my favorite things to talk about when I'm just sitting around hanging out with my friends is that mystical part of you and me that makes us who we are and transcend even what science can tell us, because what I know for sure, we are more than our bodies. If you have tuned into our television show in the last few months, you've likely heard me talk about what has, I would have to say at this point, I think has become a global phenomenon. A lot of people have been talking about the universal law of attraction, and it's been packaged very well, I think, in a new marketing form, because the truth is there have been world philosophers for years who've talked about the idea that we are more than our bodies and there's more to our lives than what we can actually see, and that really that what we are here is really an illusionary plane. Now everybody's calling that the secret. The secret is in fact a universal law. I'm really, as I've said on my show, very excited because for years, for me, the real purpose of the Oprah Winfrey Show, when I first figured out that I'd been given this opportunity to speak in people's homes every day, and that was more than just a show, I understood that it was about teaching responsibility, about letting people know that you are responsible for your life. And so for years, I've been talking about some of the principles involved in the secret, and that is that the choices that you make every day, and even more so than the choices, the way you think and then make the choices, has everything to do with what your life is. And so, in essence, you are creating your reality every day. I have believed that and seen it work in my own life in so many ways. So I'm really excited that the secret has at least opened consciousness in such a way that other people have been able to at least see that light, that moment that says, you know what, I am more than my body. There are no accidents. Everything is happening for a reason, and I do have a lot of control over it. Many of you may not know that there is a secret behind the secret, and that for over 20 years, Esther Hicks and her husband Jerry have been spreading the word of that so-called secret. That's really not a secret because so many people have known it. They've been spreading the word of that to thousands upon thousands and thousands and thousands of people, teaching this art of allowing your natural well-being to come forth through the law of attraction and using the law of attraction to create a more purposeful life. It was based on her knowledge, she says, of this universal law, that she was invited to be a primary contributing expert on the secret. Esther Hicks was. Maybe you saw the original secret tape. The original secret tape, you're on that tape, Esther.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, welcome, first of all.
Hi. Thanks.
And so you're on the first tape, and until probably, last weekend I saw a tape and you were not on it. You were first on the tapes, and now you're not on the tapes. Can you tell us why you were on the tapes, and now you're not on the tapes?
Well, Rhonda originally came to us.
Rhonda Burns, the creator of The Secret.
Yes, darling girl.
Yeah.
And she was on a cruise or two with us.
Where you're teaching this law of attraction.
We do like 50 seminars a year and some
Okay.
cruises. And so I'd heard that she was there even though I hadn't met her.
Okay, I clarify that just to say, oh, we were cruising together.
No, there were a lot of us.
Okay.
A lot of us, not just the two of us.
What are you wearing? I don't know. Are you going to the beach later? Okay, clarified that.
So anyway, they came on board and they videotaped our entire week-long cruise, the whole...
Rhonda and her crew.
Her crew. There were a lot of them, nice Australians. And then we spent one day in another little room with a green screen behind, and she interviewed Jerry and I and Abraham.
Abraham is the entity that you...
Abraham is the weird part of me. Abraham is the non-physical...
I'm glad you said it.
Everybody else thinks that. Abraham is the non-physical entity that you use the word. That to me, they are non-physical consciousness. So
Okay.
I quiet my mind and I tap into their vibration, and then I speak what they say.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I know.
Now, okay, I'm going to come back to that.
Yes.
But so when Rhonda Burns and her crew, who were filming The Secret at the time, started taping you, is that what we see on the original tape?
Yes,
And
that's Abraham.
That's Abraham speaking there.
Yes.
And so when I read your book, yours and Jerry's book on the law of attraction, which I just noticed is on the bestseller list last week.
It is. Isn't that nice?
I think that's very nice.
Yes.
So when I read that book, what I realized is that so much of what is said on and in The Secret, the tape, is almost directly from your book.
Well, that book, we just produced that book, but it's almost a literal transcription of the early recordings we did. The first recording being Law of Attraction, the second one being the Law of Deliberate Creation, the third one being the Law of Allowing. And Rhonda had been listening to those recordings. She said to us one day, in fact, I really thank her for the idea about producing the book, because she said to Jerry one day, Jerry, I've been listening to these recordings over and over and over again, and every time I hear them, I hear something more from them. I think you should put that into a book form. And Jerry said, I've been meaning to do it for a long time. He had a lot of it already pulled together. And
Jerry, your husband?
Jerry, my husband.
Yes.
So that's how that book came about, was
The Law of Attraction.
the Law of Attraction book.
For those of you who have felt, stimulated, inspired by The Secret, I would have to say that the Law of Attraction really opens that door further in such a way that you begin to truly understand the principle behind the Law of Attraction and how it works in almost every phase of your life. I know you believe it works in every phase of our lives.
I do. I believe that the Law of Attraction, that everything is about that. And once you understand the Law of Attraction, and you are looking not only at your own life, but anybody else's that you have, that you're up close enough to really know what's going on, you can see that everybody gets exactly what they're offering vibrationally.
Well, the criticism of The Secret, which, and I'm using the words interchangeably today, but clearly I know the difference. The secret is, as I was saying earlier, I think, and there are people who say, well, no, is it marketing? I think I saw some article. Is it marketing or is it real? Well, the truth is, it is marketing. It has been marketed and packaged in such a way that people, of our generation, of this time, can receive it in a way that perhaps they couldn't receive it with other philosophers or,
Yes, and because of Law of Attraction, because so many people are asking, our contrasting experiences are making us ask more powerfully than ever before, and so more people are asking. I think that watching what Rhonda accomplished with The Secret was maybe the best example I've ever seen of someone holding steadily to a thought or an idea and not letting anyone divert them from their idea. And Law of Attraction.
Now you see things that have manifested that she was talking about.
Oh, things like it was going to be a worldwide phenomenon and people around the world would benefit from it and everyone would be uplifted by it. I think that what happened with The Secret is a really good example of someone deliberately applying Law of Attraction. And in fairness to Rhonda or anyone who's trying to put such a big idea out in such a short period of time, it isn't possible to explain how to make that happen. She studied for a long time before she began applying it, And so I hear criticism, we get so much correspondence from people who've been studying our work for a long time who don't like how it doesn't say enough or don't like how now it's beginning to be diverted into different directions. It's kind of turning in the wind just a little bit. Jerry and I always say, in fairness, what a wonderful thing this is, what a wonderful icebreaker it is, and anybody who wants to know more, there are a lot of people teaching what to do.
Yes. I think it's exciting that we're at a time where people began to ask those questions about, what is my life?
It's so exciting to me that people are beginning to understand that they can do it themselves. It's all about self-empowerment.
Okay, well, let's go to some of the criticism immediately, because I thought when I first watched The Secret, I was excited about it because I thought, oh, wow, this is great because people are going to realize that things aren't just happening out of order, right, that things are really very much happening in order. Mm-hmm. And then I think the criticism has been, well, if things are happening in order, if you're really attracting everything into your life, then when you have cancer, you attracted that?
These are questions I really want you to put to Abraham because they explain it so much better. Those are hard questions. But everything that everyone is living is coming in response to their vibrational output. But most people don't know what they're doing.
Okay, even children. So bad things happen to children who are innocent, children who don't know, children who don't know about their vibrational output.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're offering a vibration whether we know that we are or not, and we learn our vibration. I hear Abraham say that even when you're in your mother's womb, you're picking up on her vibration because of how she feels in her life. And when you're born as that little baby, you're born into an environment where people around you feel a certain way. We see it even as we move about this nation, that there are neighborhoods that you can just feel how those people feel and their lives reflect it. And then we see neighborhoods that you can just feel how those people feel and their lives reflect it. And so I don't think anybody's saying that, you know, Abraham says
and Abraham is the higher consciousness entity that you channel.
Abraham's the broader perspective. Abraham is source energy. The way
source energy coming from the source.
And we all have access to it.
Yes.
And through a process of meditation, I managed to quiet my own resistance enough that my own vibration raised so that I tuned into them.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I know you've agreed to be here because I said to you, I said when they were going to get you here, I said, tell her, please, she's going to have to come on several shows just to come back because there is no way I'm going to be able to get all my questions out in one session. So I think in our next session, I certainly want you to channel Abraham. But before